Hi everyone, this is Maria from aModernGirlMakes. Let's talk about the Milton tray system and how you can get this great accessory for your Eddie. The Milton base tray was designed to aid in printing cookies of all shapes and helping you know where to put that cookie to get it just in the right place so it prints exactly as you expect. And this tray is used in the manual mode without the carousel. It was designed by Christy Milton with the help of her dad. And you can find Christy on Etsy at SweetTreatEvny. I'm going to have all the links below in the description. So not only can you use the base tray for just a single cookie, but there's all kinds of additional toppers that will help you with candies and small squares or marshmallows or macarons or, creating those little stick cookies. You can purchase the STL files and print them on your own with your own 3D printer. Or if you don't have a 3D printer, then you find someone like me who can print those STL files for you. Again, I'll have all the links below in the description. So now let me show you all the parts and pieces that can go with the Milton base and all of the rest of the trays. So as Megan Trainor likes to say, it's all about that base. Sorry, had to go there. When I turn this over, this is the base that sits on the tongue. So once I put this on, I'm not going to take it off. So I don't have to worry about that. It's going to go in and out of the Eddie, and those cookies will go right in and out sitting on top of this tray. Now, the next part of the tray is this piece that fits on top, and I'll use these little pegs to hold it in place. So they just drop in, and this top, or this little top plate, allows you to put your cookie on, and it's got like little grips in it. I don't know if you can see those really very well, but they're pointy, and when you put a cookie on there, it's not going to move. If you're worried about it moving, then you can also use these little cookie stabilizers, and you've got this set of holes right here, and they just pop in, and you can just snug your cookie right up against that and plan for that when you're printing your cookie. Okay, I know that this is where my cookie is going to sit, and you can use any of these stabilizers to hold it in place. This one's great for a round cookie, so that just sits in there. Okay, so that's the basic. This, when you go to SweetTreatEvny, you will find this base tray, and it'll come with all of these parts and pieces. So you'll get every bit of this to download. And if you download the STL and you've got your own 3D printer, you can print it. All right. So now let's say we want to be more specific with what we're printing, and we want to try some other things. So I can take this away, and I can check out something like the Milton candy tray. And that candy tray is going to sit right on top of the base. So sometimes when I'm printing these for folks, they don't realize that they have to have the base also. So you've got to have the base, and then you can load up your M&Ms, and it just goes in and comes out. And Eddie will print on each one of those individual circles. And it's important that you get that STL from Christy, because she has all of the directions and setup for how you hit each one of those M&Ms and get that printing. And there are directions for both Mac, if you're using Swift, I wrote those directions, and then Christy has written the directions up for bartender. All right, so that's the M&Ms, and I can print 48 candies at a time. So I'm going to take this one away. All right, still got the base, got a set of pegs in there. And if you want to try to print some larger candies, maybe some chocolate covered almonds or Mentos or things like that, those will fit, and this will print up to 20 candies. And it just fits right on top of that base. And so if you want to print larger candies, you have to start with that base, and then you can add the tray on top. All right, so that is the Milton multi-candy plate. The next one I'll show you are this round topper. It fits right on here. It's just this round cookie top plate. It's just one plate, and it can print 4 small circles, or think of, they could print macaron tops for printing and making those really special. So we're not limited just to sugar cookies. We can print other kinds of things as well. And speaking of that, I'll take this round top away. And check out this square one. Now Chrissy's really getting into this, because first, here's your base that goes on here. And you probably will say, okay, I get it. It's 4 cookies. It can also be 4 marshmallows. And sometimes we need a little something in between to help stabilize those marshmallows and keep them in place. So we've got the inset stabilizer, and then a frame that we can drop on and really hold those in place. Or maybe you've got something a little smaller and you can get this insert as well. So this Milton Square cookie plate is more than just that one plate. It's also the frame to help keep those cookies or marshmallows in, and then 2 different inserts depending on what size you're working with. All right, so that is the Milton Square cookie plate. Take that away. But wait, there's more. We have this Milton stick top plate. And again, that's going to start with a tray. And this tray is going to let me print 4 stick cookies. So this tray will hold 4 stick cookies across. And if I want to do something a little wider than those really thin sticks, I've got this tray. It builds up, and I have 3 stick plates that go across. And I also have the option for 2 sticks. And Christy's got the cookie cutters, the STLs for the cookie cutters, so that you know you'll get them just the right size. So you can download that as a separate purchase from the Milton stick top plate. She also has practice cookies as well, if you want to download the STLs for that. After I had been using the Milton base and tray system for a while, I found myself doing something a little bit different. And that was, I was taking this base tray and I was taking a piece of paper towel and I was taping it in place and just printing and printing the outline of the cookie that I was printing. Because I was trying to print all of these crazy shaped cookies, and I needed to see exactly where that was going to go. And for me, this seemed like the right thing to do. I did run into a couple of problems. One, I didn't like messing with the tape all the time. That was just kind of fiddly. And sometimes the tray would go in and come out and tell me there was no cookie found when I was just trying to print an outline. And I thought, okay, let me put my brain on this and think about what I want to do. So what I ended up doing was just creating this simple frame, and it has magnets in the corner. And then I put magnets in the Milton base. So now when I want to print on a piece of paper towel or a napkin, I can just pop that in and the magnet holds it in place and I don't have to worry about it. Also, that little extra edge fools Eddie into thinking, yes, there is a cookie on this tray, and it just scans away. Now, with the most current update of the Eddie software, there is now a way for you to go in and just let it scan that tray and tell Eddie, hey, I'm using a custom tray and this is the height of it, and don't worry about whether I have a cookie on it or not. And so that is something just brand new that has just happened, within the last week, actually. So that eliminates the need for that. However, I do love that magnet. Also, I can use this for royalizing transfers if I want, and we'll do a whole other video on a royalizing transfer. What I really love about this design is the fact that if I want to, I can grab that M&M tray and still put it right on to the tray and use those pegs and pop it in there. Now, if you order your trays from me because you don't have a 3D printer and you say add magnets, whatever trays you get from me are all going to have magnets. So they all pop together and you don't need to use those pegs. However, who knows, down the road you might get your own 3D printer and say, okay, now I can print my own M&M tray or whatever. So you're still going to need those pegs. So this is what I love about the whole thing, is I've got the best of all the worlds. When I have my magnet frame, I can do royalizing transfers, I can print in place, I can print my outline on the paper towel, and then when I'm ready to go to my next cookie, I just flip it over and use the back. When you're ready to print those Milton trays on your own, you start by downloading the STL files from SweetTreatEvny on Etsy. Along with that, you're going to get the directions for setup in Bartender or using Swift. And if you need someone to print them for you, or you're interested in adding magnets to your trays and you need me to print them, make sure you find my shop as well on Etsy, aModernGirlMakes. You always have to start with purchasing the STL files from Christy at SweetTreatEvny, and then you send proof of purchase to me so that I can print them for you. We've got all the referral links down below, so check those out. And if you can use those referral links, then that saves us a little bit of fees that we're charged by Etsy. I hope this helped you make some sense of my favorite accessory for the Eddie, the Milton tray.